Imagine biting into a cake and it tasting like your favorite chocolate. We are making an eggless Ferrero Rocher cake today with the flavors of Nutella, hazelnuts and milk chocolate. Let's get started. For the cake, I am going to start by combining some sugar along with vegetable oil and some homemade dahi. Let's give everything a good mix. And now into this, our star ingredient Nutella. I'm adding 2 tablespoons, but you could add more if you like. Let's mix this in, and into this I'm also adding 2 tablespoons of milk. Our wet mixture is done, and now for the dry ingredients I'm going to sift in some maida, baking powder and baking soda. I'm also adding in a pinch of salt, and now using my spatula I'm going to fold the dry mix in until I don't see any large flour pockets in my batter. And now to add some crunch to my cake, I'm using some hazelnuts which I've toasted. I'm going to chop them finely and then add 1/4 cup of these into my batter. Let's fold these in. My batter is ready. I'm going to divide this between 2 6-inch pans. You could also bake this recipe in a single 9-inch cake pan. And I'm now going to bake these in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 25 to 30 minutes. Now while the cakes are baking, we can get the work started on the frosting. But before that, I wanted to address a question that I've been getting asked a lot about how I've been shooting my videos during the lockdown. So I've been picking up on a lot of tips and tricks from Skillshare's food videography class. So when they reached out to me, it felt like a natural fit. Skillshare is an online learning community with lots of inspiring classes for creators. The food videography class by Daniela Lambova is great for creators who want to create amazing food content at home on a budget. Besides that, there are a lot of classes on baking and dessert techniques. Skillshare is curated specially for learning, which means there are no ads, and they're always introducing new classes by industry leaders. So it becomes a great space to learn new skills and deepen existing passions. Skillshare's annual subscription offers great value and costs less than $2,400 for a year, which makes it less than $200 a month, and that makes it cheaper than this box of chocolates. So if you'd like to try this platform and start your creative journey, the first 500 people to click on the link in my description will get 1 month of free trial, which means unlimited access to all the classes, including premium ad-free content from famous creators and industry leaders. And now back to our recipe. The first thing that we need for the frosting is some chopped chocolate, and onto this I'm pouring some hot cream. I'm using a non-dairy whipping cream. Let's give this a good mix so that the chocolate begins to melt from the heat of the cream. This looks good. I'm going to put this in the freezer for 1 hour. I made double the batch earlier, which has set properly. I'm going to use my electric mixer to beat this on high speed so that it becomes super light and voluminous. You will see that my ganache is becoming very fluffy, and this is because we've used a whipping cream and not fresh cream to make it. So the frosting is ready. My cakes have also baked and cooled completely. Let's demold them. Now to assemble the cake, let's start by placing the first layer on the turntable. I'm going to pipe some whipped chocolate ganache around the edges and also spread a thin layer in the center. This looks good. Onto this, I'm also adding some Ferrero Rocher chocolate which I've chopped roughly. Now all we need to do is to keep repeating this process. As I mentioned earlier, this recipe will give you 2 layers, but I made a batch earlier, which is why I have 4 layers right now. On top of my cake, I'm going to pipe some more whipped chocolate ganache and decorate it with some Ferrero Rocher chocolates. And to make my cake look prettier, I'm going to stick some chopped hazelnuts on the sides as well. If you love chocolates and hazelnuts, this recipe has to be on your list. You could make it for your friends or family, or double the recipe like I did and make an elaborate cake for a special occasion. It looks spectacular and everybody would love it. I'll see you guys next time. Happy baking!